All right. What's up, everybody? Uh, this is a first. This is the first time I've done a happy hour mastermind coming out of Newport Beach, California with Sosi Avila.
Yeah, teachings in tequila.
Wait a minute. I think we need to adjust the headline. Teachings in Tequila.
I love it.
All right. So I just finished interviewing Jeremy Forcier, pure Zoom. I was on Zoom. He was on Zoom. We have Sosi locally. I actually thought we were on Zoom. And then all of a sudden Sosi pulls up and he's like, I'm walking in. I'm like, I'm very happy about that, by the way. So we're just going to talk about what badass mortgage professionals are doing to lean into this to help real estate agents. So why don't you start with Sosi just sharing how you're doing in the marketplace right now and how you're approaching this in one-to-one conversations with realtors. And then also, what are you doing on social media to help support agents, since you and your crew are, I've heard you're pretty good on social media.
Yeah, we haven't done bad. Yeah. So as far as, success in the market, we've just had month-over-month growth. Right now, I think I'm at like 18 active escrows, had a great March. April's going well. May's looking fantastic. Yeah, just really stoked. There's so many people to help right now. And I know that many people in their contexts, they're looking at their coworkers and a lot of other people in the industry. And I can tell you right now, there's so much market share to take up. I'm around people constantly coming in 7 a.m., leaving 6 p.m., and they're just freaking grinding. And the grind is continuing to produce something really, really beautiful, more opportunities to help families. I haven't seen a time in my career where people are more open to have a conversation about what they should plan to do. And the beautiful thing about that is when you actually have the skill sets that MortgageCoach provides, and you use this tool to paint on the canvas of somebody's future, showing them, hey, here's what your financial future could look like if you did X, Y, Z. When you're doing this, we're able to speak to planning conversations and make those planning conversations turn into now conversions, right? So it's really cool, man. Like, the grind is like no other before. The amount of people that we're speaking with that just want to be open to plan ahead is amazing. And all these plan ahead conversations are turning into more clients now. So it's stinking fantastic.
So I was just talking to Jeremy, and I was saying, I don't think there's ever been a time in the history of mortgage where there was a better leadership opportunity for mortgage professionals to help realtors. And I also think it's a very unique opportunity because realtors are not only going to need lenders to help them close the loan on time, drama-free, 5-star review, but they're going to need lenders to really help make their value obvious, help communicate their value. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the aspect of being able to echo somebody's brand and aid in conversion is going to be extremely imperative moving forward, right? As a partner of a realtor, the necessity to be able to represent them well and show why their commission value is something that should be affirmed, and to be able to show why it's going to actually monetarily give them a rate of return by getting into the house they want at the price they want with the protection they want. And then being able to do that in a way that just helps the client be converted is huge. Like, I've had our realtor partners come to me just be like, Sosi, I'm sending you clients more and more and more because you're able to even sell the real estate service better than I can, because you're able to speak to it from a neutral party of conviction, showing that you don't need a realtor who's a door opener. You need a realtor who's a negotiator, who can help you know what you don't know about the transaction, and who knows how to make sure that the contract is written in such a format that actually protects you and benefits you as a consumer. And so when I do these things for the clients, they go back to the agent, they go, he says you do all this. And they go, yeah, that's better than I could have said it, right? And then they come to me and they're just like, Sosi, you're helping me so much. Thank you.
So really what I'm hearing is you're an extension of their value prop more than ever. So what if you could articulate, I think you already did, what is the typical value prop of a realtor? And then how do you integrate your value prop as a mortgage coach?
Yeah. So this is going to be a good takeaway for those of you who are going like, how do I get my conversion up, right? If you're trying to just convert 2 to 3% higher, here's something that's going to be the crux point, right? I can tell you right now, if you implement this, you will see your conversion increase. focus not just on the content you're sharing, but focus on your setup, right? Don't forget, what you get is what you set yourself up for. It's that same principle that you get what you allow. What your results are is because of what you created. So here's what I mean by that. Your handoff is crucial. To start with the realtor handoff to you, right? About a year ago, I started realizing that I was tired of realtors handing clients off to me as the Sosi's going to have your best interests at heart, right? I used to be a pastor. A lot of you guys know my story. I'm a very big-hearted type of person. I love leading with my heart, connecting with my heart, all that stuff. So therefore, realtors walked away going, you're going to love that guy. Like he's just a really great-hearted guy, and he's going to have your best interests at heart. And that sounds all well and dandy, but think about that from the consumer. The consumer already vetted out who they want to work with. They've already exposed themselves in vulnerability by pretty much becoming naked to some other loan officer, showing their social, showing their bank accounts. And now you're telling them that they couldn't decipher who is the best person to trust to have their best intention at heart. And so who they chose and to get naked in front of is probably maybe not the best choice, right? There's some borderline opportunity to offend the client there. And so the client can come already not even wanting to be connected. Or if you try to use the sales pitch of like, oh, Sosi's rates are the best, right? Any cost-centered piece, you set the client up for failure as far as having a really good financial discussion. So when I started realizing that I wanted my realtors and I wanted my referral partners, whether they're financial advisors, tax preparers, or past clients, I wanted to make sure to equip them with the right handoff detail. Sosi is going to be able to make the best financial strategy for you to look through, and then from there decide what's going to be the most successful move for you and your family.
All right, guys. So when I'm looking down at my mobile phone, I'm not off somewhere else. I push this live into the Mortgage Coach or the Trust Engine Facebook group. Ed Vaccaro, what's up? If you have questions for Sosi, put them in our Facebook group right now. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, which is our biggest audience, put questions down below because this will not be the last time that I'm talking to Sos. So before we get into specific, and I am going to put you on the spot,
Please.
Kind of like, what exactly are you saying
Yep.
to realtors right now?
Yep.
That's what I just did with
Yep.
Jeremy. So I'm going to ask you some of those same questions. But before I do that, because you guys have such a big social media presence,
Yeah.
first of all, describe that for anyone that doesn't know just exactly how many leads you're generating and what you're doing on social media. Describe that, and then describe a social media strategy for a mortgage professional that's listening to this that wants to lean in, wants to gain market share, wants to help realtors. Describe what your roadmap is at a high level.
Yeah. So as far as what we've done on social, my company's called What's a Mortgage. Whoops. That was a oops. Yeah, no worries. So my company's called What's a Mortgage. Right. Great partners at this place. There's really three things that we've been able to hyper focus on and find success in that really has become very unique to us. And so the three things is we generate leads at scale on social media, right? We're then able to multiply that scale through our ad strategy. And then third, we're able to actually convert that scale into business. So for example, on average, right, just this year, before we start ramping up with new endeavors that we have going, we're at about 1,000 leads a month direct to consumer through social media channels. Our active pipeline with about 17 LOs is about 110 escrows live right now. And so we're able to generate the business of attention from social. We're able to convert that business. And then we're able to focus on mortgage under management in the years to come as well. So with all that said, to answer your question, right, what are we doing on social to be able to help? Realize first and foremost, it is a real sensitive subject. I forgot how sensitive this subject is, right? Like I've put out what I thought was neutral information out there, and I've had it definitely blow up landmines for people, right? Like, I don't know if you've ever been, in any type of therapy or whatnot, but human nature, we've all learned how to like avoid the landmines in our life, right? Not to step on it. And so when I started bringing up the subject, all of a sudden I was like, holy crap, those are landmines. The insecurity, I think, that's there with how do I present my value? How do I show what my worth is really through commission, monetary dollars? How do I share with somebody who I want to know that I care for them, that I'm worth X amount of dollars that they now have to pay out of their pocket? I think this is something that all of us as professionals go through. And now it's being exposed of a real conversation that has to be had. And it's a very sensitive one. So first and foremost, realize it's a sensitive landscape. I went out there, put some content, and I was really surprised to see some of the emotional responses that I had back. So
just to put an explanation mark on that. So I flew out to Scottsdale on Saturday. All day Sunday, I was at what's called The Gathering, put on by Housing Wire. And Housing Wire bought Real Trends. So, an event that's pretty legendary called Gathering of the Eagles. Some of the top real estate leaders, change agents, Gary Keller goes to it.
Yeah.
His CEO was one of the speakers of Keller Williams. The CEO of Rocket was one of the speakers. So it was C-suite. And I can't remember the name of the speaker, but one of the speakers on Sunday said something, and literally someone's like, all of my years of going to events, I've never seen the audience react like this. They started yelling at this guy.
Dang.
One guy got up. Someone's like, one of my friends texted me, I've never seen anything like this at an event. And I go, I think we might see a fist fight before this day is over. like it's intense. And just most of my audience is real estate professionals. Realize that, this is a real opportunity, and it's also a real threat to the, how real estate professionals have been doing business, and their whole model is getting
disrupted.
Maybe disrupted, but it's getting shifted. There's a sea shift, and it may be a disruption, or it just may be a massive change. I think there'll definitely be some type of commission compression. Yeah. Even when I talk to the top people in real estate, that I don't think that is a provocative statement. So I think there will be some commission compression, but it is a massive opportunity for leadership. So any just quick, other than have a high emotional IQ.
Yeah.
Any tips or tricks on social? And then let's get into what are you saying one-on-one?
The tricks on social is being able to know you're going to have to either be the one who avoids the question, or you're going to have to address the question. And so being able to go on your stories, if you haven't done this, I would do it for sure. If you haven't put all your agents as a close friend on your stories, you really need to do that, right? Because there's sometimes content that you want to put out that's not going to go to your family or direct to consumer. It's going to only go to the realtors that you and them follow each other back. So I have a close friends list of LOs and realtors so that.
How many people are in that list?
I think 700.
Really? You have 700 in the close friends list?
Yeah. Because it's all people that I've interacted with, met. They're not necessarily close friends, right? But they're people that are my industry friends, and they're the ones that I want to show stories to just for them. So it's my way of being able to give market content to realtors without disrupting or distracting my direct to consumer content. So put your close friends list as your realtor ones, and on there put out surveys, right? Hey, what do you think is going to happen to commissions? And if you're trying to truly get engagement, don't always feel like you have to come from the place of subject matter expert, right? Ask, hey, I need help understanding this commission piece thing. What do you guys think is going to happen? And give 4 things on a poll and let them answer. And then when they answer, go look at it and see who you want to go speak with and do some follow-up conversations with, right? So that's the first thing. And then the direct consumer thing, it's this. You got to prep clients for it, right? I should back up because it's going to dovetail right to your next question. The content you give to realtors right now, make sure you're giving content that shows them it's going to be okay. Be the lighthouse. The content you're giving to clients, make sure it's twofold. One, if you know they're going to be in a challenging situation when July 1st comes, make sure to start communicating the importance of making a move now before all these changes happen, right? Because there's now a time limit. You have to make a move before this happens. If you feel at all, you're going to now be affected with competition on multiple offers with you paying your own commission now. This is the moment to do it before the change takes place. And then second of all, prepare them. Ask questions, put stories, do lives, put seminars together, right? And if you don't feel like you're a good subject matter expert of the pieces, cool. Ask a realtor to be on it with you that is a team lead. For example, we had Sean Herrero on one of our webinars last month that we do for our realtors. It was great. We don't work at the same company. Everyone here knows he's one of the smartest human beings alive as far as mortgage and strategy goes. So why not get a really great expert to come in, share our stage, and be able to glean from one another and help the community? So that's going to be the 2 pieces on social.
And so it's kind of cool. We have this on 2 different audiences. I have this streaming on my personal Facebook page. which I haven't typically done. I've always streamed these types of interviews directly into the Trust Engine Facebook group, but I don't know if you noticed it, but Facebook made a move 2 days ago where they basically shut off third-party apps being able to stream into Facebook groups.
Dang.
So well, it's actually kind of cool. I'm getting an audience on my personal Facebook, and then we pushed it in the group.
That's rad.
So if you do have questions for Sosi or comments, reach out. I do want to make context because I've interviewed, I think, thousands of the best mortgage professionals, and I've interviewed a lot of people over the past year, and you are going super consumer direct with your social media.
Yeah.
You and What's a Mortgage.
Yeah.
And a lot of loan officers are kind of like, they're communicating to their friends.
Yep.
And they're communicating to realtors.
Yep.
And so I do think I'm going to be interested to see what Denise Donahue's doing on that strategy, because while she creates content for consumer direct, she creates a lot of content for realtors. So it'll be interesting to see how many people are using that close friends feature in Instagram for the industry, and then what they're doing is on consumer direct.
Yeah.
So do me a favor, if you're watching this, let us know, how are you using that close friends feature?
And are we on it?
Yeah, well, and who is your audience and your close friends? I have a feeling that there's going to be some mortgage professionals where that's only realtors. I have a feeling that, like me personally, it's my direct family. So I, for the most part, create content for the industry, but then I use that for my friends or for my family, but maybe I need to start using that feature for an inner circle of industry influencers.
Yeah.
So I'll check that out.
It works because people see the green and they're like, oh, what's that? And they watch it.
Yeah, no, I might have to, kick the family out of there. Sorry, Core 4. No, I'm sort of kidding. Yeah, but I might be serious. They'll be cool. I can always change it and move it. So see, let's go one-on-one. What are the conversation you're having with one-on-one? And then let's get to our off the record
Salud.
mastermind with Tequila.
All right. So one-on-one combos, it's super simple, right? Always know two things. The caring person is the one asking questions, and the person who's leading the conversation is asking questions. And if we're looking at business combos, we should always be having a purpose and making sure we have the return that we're sacrificing family, business time away with whatever new partnership conversation we're engaging in, right? So that being the case, one-on-one, I'm asking a lot of questions. I'm trying to figure out, why are they scared? Are they even scared? I'm assuming most realtors are scared. To my surprise, I've had a lot of realtors who are actually really excited, like blown away, right? And they're just focused, and they're either excited because they just like challenge, or they're excited going, yeah, I think the whole buyer side is going to truly get screwed up, and I'm just going to focus on listings, right? So like, there's so many, this new move impacts so many different aspects of someone's business. People are taking and responding to it very differently. So please know that just because you're presuming something doesn't mean that the person you're trying to engage with in a new business relationship is following the same presumption that you have. So first and foremost, ask your questions, figure out what their challenges are. Many people are just more curious. The most common question I'm getting is, what is the finance side going to do? I don't know if you've heard this, Dave, but I've had like realtors look at me point blank and just be like, yeah, you guys got to figure out how to pay for our commissions. I'm just like, yeah, let me go tell the government agencies that they need to change all the rules to pay for a commission piece, right? Like, that's a humor thing of just like, I can't do much about it, but that doesn't mean stuff isn't going to change. Like we've all seen, things are going to be changing. There is going to be allowance for being able to put solutions in there. So all you got to do, and all I'm doing, is hearing their fear. The most common question is, what could it look like? And then I use an illustration to show them what it could look like. And if you can show people that what they're stressing about is probably not as insane as how they're imagining it's going to be, all of a sudden peace starts coming.
So why don't you show them an example? Because I think you've got one here.
Let's do it.
Let's, pull up. I had Sosi forward this to me. This is an actual example of how he's using MortgageCoach. Sosi is a data-driven mortgage coach.
Look how pretty that thing is.
Do you like the new look and feel?
Like the new look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 9 out of 10 people love it. I have had a number of folks that don't love it. And then there are things that we truly need to enhance, but walk us through what we're looking at here.
Yeah, for sure. So first thing I'm showing somebody, right, is like, hey, let's say we're looking at an $800,000 condo. I got to make sure, because I was playing with it earlier, see if I still kept the HOA in there. Okay, the HOA is not still in there, but this was supposed to be a condo, FHA, right? So what I show a realtor is like, look, here, let's look at this $800,000 example. The monthly payment would be $63.59. If we're putting 5% down, it's $57,000. Right? Do you see a client that could fit in this circle? And they're like, yeah, I could totally see that. Okay, cool. If we're looking at 2.5% commission, right, you're looking at $20,000. So if you find a listing where you're in a competitive scenario now, and the listing agent is saying, hey, the other offer is waiving the commission, that they're just going to pay for it out of pocket, even if they were sharing cooperative commission previously, but now because of the competition, they're not going to be able to provide that because the other offer is showing that they won't do it. But your realtor has a great relationship, whatever the case is. Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, let me show you what it could look like if we built that 20K into the price point, right? So now we build the 20K into the price point, the payment goes from 83.59 to to 63.59 to 65.18. That less than $200 difference there is going to be able to allow this client to finance that commission in there so they can still be equipped with the right negotiation skills, contractual knowledge, and knowledge of the process in a way that they just didn't have the research to get on their own. Okay, but Sosi, right? And this is just a combo. Sosi, what if it doesn't appraise? What if it still only appraises 800? Well, if it doesn't appraise 800, right, we can change the down payment from 5% to 3.5%. Now it's $65,000 out of pocket with 64.68. And so there they go, okay, so if they have to pay some of it out of pocket, at least they're not paying a whole 20 grand, right? Like some of it's still financed, others, it's still in the loan. So that might be doable. But then if they go, yeah, but Sosi, what if they don't have another $7,000 to put out of pocket? Well, this is now where we could look at going a higher rate to now combine both lender credit and appraisal gap strategy so that we can come back to the $56,000 cash to close. The payment difference is now $438, but what would this client rather have? $438 difference a month, or paying an extra $20,000 out of pocket, or not being able to afford the house at all, get your services, get them in a home, and continue to see prices increase and then miss out on the neighborhood they want to buy in, right? And so there is no silver bullet for any of this. There's just the ability to show, don't panic. It doesn't mean it's going to be as bad as you're assuming. There's hope, there's strategy, and worst case, there's opportunity for people to still both finance it with the appraisal gap and do lender credits on the commission.
So how does a fee worksheet loan officer compete with a mortgage coach loan officer going forward?
They got only one strategy, and it's lower cost, but that doesn't win every time. And it's not going to be a scalable strategy for the long term. So how they compete, not very effectively is the answer.
And one of my theories is that all the mortgage coaches are going to be going out and saying, hey, what are you saying? Let me show you what I'm saying. And realtors are going to go, I like what you're saying. I like what you're showing.
Yeah.
And they're going to go to their, so this is going to be a big win for the mortgage coach crew.
Huge. Yeah, it's so funny. I keep talking to a lot of C-suite executives just because we're expanding, doing some new things on our side. And everyone just keeps coming to the same thing. If you're not literally, I was talking to a different guy today earlier. He was just like, look, I don't want to say this on record, but I just got to be honest. If you're not using Mortgage Coach, how the heck do you compete? Literally, that's quote words, because he heard that I did an hour training for my sales staff this morning on Mortgage Coach. And so he was affirming it, and I loved hearing it. I told my staff today, I was just like, look, guys, you as a consultant, the way you impact somebody's, can I go into this real quick?
Yeah. Oh,
so
let me stop sharing the screen real quick, because I think
so I was talking to this, I
that.
was doing a training this morning for our team, right? And I was reminding them that human nature is this. Typically, you can only dream, imagine, or think through based on what you've been exposed to. So we're in Costa Rica, revamping a school for kids that live out in the sticks. We're painting their playground. We put tile floor in their school. We put a ceiling because they only had a tin roof. And the kids then started going, maestra, maestra. And they were like, one day we want to live in a house that has a tile floor and a ceiling, right? And when you hear that, you go, holy moly, that's so impactful. It's crazy to see what I take for granted. But on the other side of that too, you start thinking philosophically going, these kids are seeing this as their highest standard because they haven't been exposed to any other greater luxury of life, right? You get limited to what you're exposed to, and that usually fuels your imagination. So with that story, I want to make sure to be clear on this. People are making bad financial decisions because they've only been exposed to conventional wisdom that's outdated or fear-fueled, right? People are making bad financial decisions because they're only exposed to conventional wisdom that's outdated or fear-fueled. And so it's our job as consultants to come in, and the way we lead is we lead through perspective. My job is to show somebody a better decision by showing them their two results, right? Two alternative futures. If you don't buy now, here A. If you don't buy now, here A with more down payment here. If you do buy now and then refi when lower rates happen, here are your three futures. Which one do you want? My job is to paint a picture for someone of their future realities so they can make better financial decisions now. And the only way I can do my job well is by painting that picture through the canvas of Mortgage Coach. Like legit, if I don't have something like this, I can't paint the picture. I can't communicate the message. And sadly, people won't be able to make those better decisions.
Those are closing thoughts. And for the Mortgage Coach Innovation team, we need to make a piece of micro content out of that. That was so well said, brother.
Thanks, my friend.
Any closing thoughts?
Best script's the truth, man. I mean all points of that. And I truly mean that to everybody listening here. Like, learn your canvas tools, learn how to use these paintbrushes, learn how to use these colors, because the families you're speaking to deserve it. And if you don't, somebody else will.
All right, guys, it is Friday. It is 5 o'clock Pacific. We are going to wrap this up. We're going to do a little off-camera masterminding. Hopefully all the value we're bringing to you in this Mortgage Coach Trust Engine community is helping you. We really want to help you win in this marketplace. One of my favorite quotes at this conference I was at was from the CEO of Keller Williams, who said, change is inevitable. Growth is optional. Okay. And boom. And hopefully you're listening, you're learning, you're training. If you are not a mortgage coach, you are showing up to a gunfight with a knife. It really is that simple. So go to our website. Individual loan officers can sign up. It's pretty obvious where it's at. If
brokers too. We just signed up our brokerage.
Yeah, no, brokers too. They signed up Enterprise.
We did. Yeah, very excited about it.
So, by the way, Enterprise is anything over 20 loan officers. So let us know. We'd love to help you. If you are looking for Enterprise, go to the website, request a demo. We'll make sure we hook you up. Hopefully you got value from this. Sosi.
Thanks, my friend.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.